Bonjour tout le monde, hello everybody, bienvenue, welcome to a special video all about Euro 2020, even though it's taking place in 2021. Stay tuned to find out more. Et aujourd'hui, today we have a special guest. Il s'appelle, he is called Jamés, and Jamés has his own French football podcast. How cool is that? Bonjour Jamés.
Oh, salut tout le monde! Hello everyone, great to be here. As Mr. Ennis said, my name is Jamés, and I'm the host of French football podcast Le But Foot, which is a French football podcast for language learners, covering subjects such as Ligue 1, women's football, and the Euros.
Merci Jamés, and if you would like to check out his amazing French football podcast, then do check out a link to it in the description below. But now it's time for our phrase of the day. Today's phrase of the day means come on or let's go. Écoutez, allez, allez, allez. Répétez, allez, allez, allez. With our phrase of the day in mind, let's move on to our Ooh la la vocab. Aujourd'hui, today we are thinking all about different countries competing at l'Euro 2020, Euro 2020. Now we've already learnt how to say England, Scotland and Wales in British countries and the Six Nations video. L'Angleterre, l'Écosse, le Pays de Galles. So today we'll focus on six of the favourites for the tournament. First up we have écoutez la France. La France. La France. La France. La France. La France. Répétez, la France. La France. La France. La France. La France. La France. Jamés, what do you think of La France going into l'Euro 2020?
À mon avis, in my opinion, La France would be les favoris, the favourites, because of the strong players that they have in Pogba, Griezmann and Mbappé.
Interesting thoughts. Merci beaucoup, Jamés. Well, now let's move on to our next oulala vocab, which is écoutez la Belgique. La Belgique. La Belgique. La Belgique. La Belgique. La Belgique. Répétez, la Belgique. La Belgique. La Belgique. La Belgique. La Belgique. La Belgique. Is this la dernière occasion, the last chance for La Belgique with its golden generation of Courtois, Lukaku, De Bruyne? But will Eden Hazard be fit? Maybe this will be our year. Allez la Belgique! Notre prochain pays, our next country is écoutez le Portugal. Le Portugal. Le Portugal. Le Portugal. Le Portugal. Le Portugal. Répétez, le Portugal. Le Portugal. Le Portugal. Le Portugal. Le Portugal. Le Portugal. Monsieur Claude Dubois, what do you make of Le Portugal going into l'Euro 2020?
It is time for our revenge! After they beat us in the final of l'Euro 2016, Euro 2016.
And what do you make of their players this time round?
Well, Ronaldo is a bit older, but they look even stronger with Bruno Fernandes, Ruben Diaz, Diogo Jota and João Felix.
Merci to Monsieur Claude Dubois, et notre prochain oulala vocab is écoutez l'Allemagne, 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 l'Allemagne. Répétez, l'Allemagne, 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 l'Allemagne. Jamés, your thoughts on l'Allemagne this year?
Prost! Recently, l'Allemagne, Germany, lost to minnows North Macedonia. But don't be fooled. Whenever a big tournament comes around, Germany always do well. And that'll probably be the case this summer. But not as well as la France.
Merci Jamés, excellent insight. Well, now let's move on to our penultimate oulala vocab, which is écoutez, l'Italie, 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 l'Italie. Répétez, l'Italie, 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 l'Italie. Now, unlike in the past, l'Italie do not have many star players, and they even failed to qualify for the 2018 Coupe du Monde World Cup. However, they won all 10 of their qualifying matches going into l'Euro 2020, and they have qualified for the Nations League finals. So, could this be their year under Roberto Mancini with lots of younger players? We will see. Et finalement, and finally, we have got écoutez, l'Espagne, 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 l'Espagne. Répétez, l'Espagne, 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 l'Espagne. Vainqueurs en 2008 et 2012, winners in 2008 and 2012, but this year Spain don't seem to have the strength in their squad that they used to boast. Interestingly, l'Espagne don't have a single Real Madrid player in their squad. But with players in midfield like Rodri, Thiago, Busquets and Koke, can you really underestimate them? Well, time for you guys to decide which teams you're going to cheer for at this Euro 2020 with our Sensational Sentences! Sensational sentences, sensational sentences, sensational sentences, sensational sentences. For our sensational sentences, remember that we had a phrase of the day which meant come on or let's go. What was it again? Allez! Yeah, très bien. It was allez, come on or let's go. So today we're going to look at 6 matches, and you guys are going to decide which team you would cheer for by shouting out Allez followed by the name of that country. I will help you with the first 3. So first up, who would you cheer for in a match of la France contre la Belgique? Très bien if you said Allez la France or Allez la Belgique. How about in a match of le Portugal contre l'Allemagne? Magnifique if you said Allez le Portugal or Allez l'Allemagne. Next up, what about in a game of l'Italie contre l'Espagne? Bravo if you said Allez l'Italie or Allez l'Espagne. And for our final 3, I will not help you with naming the teams. So how would you show your support for your favourite team in this match? Magnifique if you said Allez la France or Allez l'Allemagne. How about in this match? Bravo if you said Allez l'Italie or Allez la Belgique. And finally, what about this Iberian rivalry? magnifique if you said Allez l'Espagne or Allez le Portugal. And now it's time to head over to Jamés for our fun French fact of the day.
Did you know West Germany won the Euros in 1972 and then the World Cup in 1974? Then Spain won the Euros in 2008, the World Cup in 2010 and then the Euros in 2012. But La France were the first team to win the World Cup, then the Euros, winning the World Cup in 1998, then the Euros in 2000, with stars such as Zidane and Henry. Fantastique! Could they repeat the same feat this summer?
Merci beaucoup for that fascinating fact, Jamés. We're going to go straight back to you now for our Song of the Day.
The Song of the Day comes from a French football fan favourite with a very French-ish title, Magic in the Air by Magic System. If you listen carefully, you can hear a lot of Allez, Allez, Allez. Now, what does Allez mean en anglais?
Merci beaucoup, Jamés, and don't forget that you can find a link to that song in the description below. And now let's finish up today's video with our
challenge time.
Today I'm going to challenge you guys to say or write down who you would cheer for in different matches at l'Euro 2020. So take a screenshot right now and consider these 9 matches. What you can do is say or write down Allez followed by the name of your country. So for instance in the first one you could write down Allez la France or Allez la Belgique. So bonne chance, and don't forget that you can tweet your work to the hashtag FrenchWithMrInnes, and I'll do my best to get back to you from my Twitter account at FrenchMrInnes. But that is everything from this special return of French with Mr. Innes. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel below. Et un grand merci, a big thank you to our special guest, Jamés.
Merci and thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Don't forget to check out my podcast, Le But Foot. Merci et au revoir.
Merci beaucoup, Jamés, and don't forget guys that you can find a link to his fantastic, insightful and funny French football podcast just there in the description below. But in the meantime, répétez, à bientôt, et au revoir! Monsieur Claude... Am I filming? Yeah, I'm filming. Well, Ronaldo is a bit strong.
Je ne parle pas anglais.
As Mr. Innes said,
Merci, Jamés. Right. So today we'll learn how to say
Santé!
Jamés. Your thoughts on Monsieur... Fit inside. Don't fall, don't die. Oh, I really need to poo.